After earnings, the stock is heading down significantly, right now down around 8% in pre-market. Let's give a bit of an update so we can see what price is doing. So in the previous video, we predicted this price action may be exactly what you get when you have a breakdown from a parallel channel such as this. The typical pattern is that you come down and then you retest the bottom of the parallel channel before either rejecting and heading lower or getting back up into the parallel channel and using it as support. This is the exact scenario that we described in the previous video. Now, of course, we said if earnings were good, you might gap up and test the level here at $98, $99, around there. But earnings was not particularly great, and we now find ourselves rejecting quite decisively from this parallel channel. And that is a very bearish sign. Now, it doesn't mean you can't get up and fill this gap at some point. Usually gaps are filled. So if you're bullish, I would keep that in mind. There is still the possibility of coming up to around $99 at some point. But we have to be aware here that this is a very bearish look. You did really try with multiple candles to get back into the parallel channel, and both times failed. So where are the price targets that I'm looking for? Well, the targets that we put previously are still in play. You have a target here around $43, $25 as well, and another one down at $12. I think $25 more likely to be hit. Could see price going to $50 as well. That's maybe a more likely target before 43, depending on how much momentum the down move has. But I would expect now Hood to be in a longer term downtrend. Now, I will say, please be careful if you are considering buying this stock. There may be recovery bounces as with any stock that's in a downtrend, but we have to be completely objective here. This is not a good looking chart. Influencers are probably going to tell you that the stock is a great buy and, it's very cheap for the price, or it's gone down a lot already, so it can't go down much further. But the reality is, once a high momentum stock such as this has experienced its parabolic move and then it begins its sell-off, it can often get quite ugly before it gets better. So I just want you guys to keep that in mind. I wouldn't want anyone getting trapped in a longer term downtrend that just takes all your money away, basically. I think it's worth noting with Robinhood, their revenue is extremely correlated with cryptocurrency, which is seeing a massive sell-off recently. Now, of course, if crypto were to recover, then that would be very bullish for the stock, but it looks to me like Bitcoin and crypto in general is in much more of a macro sell-off, bear market type situation. So I wouldn't really expect a recovery on Bitcoin until a little bit later in the year, perhaps around May, October, something like this, if we're following the typical 4-year cycle on Bitcoin. So I think this really warrants patience on Hood. There will be some really attractive entries, and I don't think it's a bad stock by any means. In fact, I'd quite like to own it at some point, but you do have to imagine that there's going to be lower levels on the stock. With that being said, I hope that's helpful. I hope this unbiased look at the stock can give you some perspective if you're in it, or hopefully save you from making a mistake if you're not. Subscribe for further chart updates. Have a great rest of your day and good luck in the markets. See you next time. Bye-bye.